And welcome to another edition of Ducks on Sports. This week we will be continue our CFL previews as we preview the Western Division. Alright, so let's start with the BC Lions. Of course, last year had an amazing, great regular season. But when the playoffs rolled around, not so good, getting upset by the Calgary Stampeders. And this season will be interesting, of course, in the offseason, making a lot of interesting cuts. Getting rid of G. Roy Simon is now with the Rough Riders. Arlan Bruce is now a Montreal Alouette. And will this affect Travis Lulay? I say no. I say Lulay will continue to roll because I truly believe Travis Lulay is the best player in the CFL today. And hey, that's what I think. The Travis Lulay will keep on rolling. And I really like the BC Lions this year. Let's be honest. Until they got upset in the playoffs, were they not the best team in the playoffs? The best team in the CFL last year? I think they were. I mean, I think they're poised for another great run to the Grey Cup. And I'll expect the BC Lions to keep it rolling. Of course, 2 years ago, of course, they got red hot during the end of the year and just rolled out all the way to the Grey Cup. Last year, interesting, they ran into themselves as a red-hot Calgary St. Peter's team and then got just mangled in that Western final. But I expect the BC Lions to have a strong year, and I think we'll have another run in them to go to the Grey Cup. All right, our next one is the Calgary. Alright, our next team is the Calgary Stampeders, of course, going to the Grey Cup last year with no Drew Tate. Of course, Drew Tate went down early in the season. A lot of people thought he'd be out for the year. The Course came back near the end of the season, but then got hurt again. And basically, a lot of their success last year was on Kevin Glenn. You know, Kevin Glenn did a good job managing the game and just running the football. That was really their strength last year, was running the football, which I think will continue for their success this year. And if their defense could play just as well as it did last year, they could run the football just as effectiveness with Drew Tate back, the Stampeders look like a scary team right now. And let's be honest, will there be no more shocking team in the league to go back to Grey Cup than the Calgary Stampeders? I don't think so, because you have all those elements: a strong defense, a great young QB, Drew Tate. Love Drew Tate, and a team that can run the football. A great offensive line, and I think Calgary Stampeders in for a strong 2013, and I expect them to go on a run to the Grey Cup. All right, our next team, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, of course, making a great trade in the offseason by getting G. Roy Simon, the all-time CFL receiving leader. Great trade, because let's be honest, last year what this team lacked was a deep threat, game-changing kind of guy. And I think now they have that. You know, they've really got by the last few years without a guy like that, and now they got it. They finally got it. You know, Durant, who's a pretty solid QB, not a great QB, but a pretty solid QB. I expect him to be them to hook up a lot this year for touchdowns. I really like this move for the Rough Riders. It really gives this team a really good chance to score a lot of points, which it did lack last year. And I expect with this move, with a strong defense, a running game, I expect the Rough Riders to keep on rolling this year, and I expect them to have a strong 2013 and a possible dark horse to go to the Grey Cup. And our final team, the Edmonton Eskimos. And our final team, the Edmonton Eskimos, who had some interesting news this week as Matt Nichols, their young stud QB, of course, will be out for the whole season. And they'll be going with veteran backup Mike Riley, who, of course, they got in the offseason from the BC Lions. And this will be a very interesting season for the Eskimos, because I think they still could make the playoffs even if they still finish 4th in the West this year, just because I think that's how tight the West is going to be this year, how much better the West is compared to the East. But I really like the Eskimos, just because this year I really believe in the Eskimos. I think they could have a great year. As you look at it, strong defense, probably the best defense in the league. A team who can run the football, and a QB I really like. Mike Riley didn't get much shot in BC with Lule there, but Mike Riley, a good guy to have in there. Probably just put more in a guy who was going to battle out for the starting QB, of course. Won that job, of course, because of injury, but that's not him. And I really like the Eskimos this year. I think they could have a pretty solid year, and I think they could contend for the playoffs. Grey Cup, probably out of their reach, probably just not quite good enough with a young team like this, still learning how to win games down the stretch. But I like what I'm seeing in Edmonton right now, and I think the Edmonton Eskimos are on the up in 2013. Alright, so I got all the team previews out of the way. So let's get to the good stuff, where these teams will land in 2013. Number 4, even though I really like their defense, the Edmonton Eskimos will probably still be 4th, but in a strong West, still could contend for the playoffs, and I think they could get a crossover again and play probably like the Alouettes or something in the first round. Our third team will be the Calgary Stampeders. I think they'll fall down a little out Drew Tate, just because I really think the West is that improved. But again, just a dark horse that could get it done in the West this year. And really 3 strong teams, probably the best 3 out of 4 teams in this league are in the West right now, which is scary. But number 2, I'll go with the Rough Riders. They're improved, but they're just not quite as good as the BC Lions. And the BC Lions will win the West. I think they'll have a chip on their shoulder from how their season ended last year. And I really like the BC Lions get it done. Which leads me into my next thing, Grey Cup prediction. I will go with those BC Lions to get it done over the Toronto Argonauts. Last 2 Grey Cup champions, I think, will collision to meet each other in the Grey Cup, 101st Grey Cup, and I think the BC Lions get it done. Well, until next time, I'm Aaron Duxbury saying I'm Ducks, and I know sports. Kind of.